Well, today we're here at Valley View Greenhouse with Carrey, Engle, and myself, and we're going to talk about houseplants today. And one of the questions we get, Carrey, a lot is what can we put in a low light situation in a home?
I love the Chinese evergreens. They're also called aglaonemas. These are great, and the varieties just keep getting better. Years ago, you would take cuttings, plop them in a pot, and you can still do that. But a lot of these are grown from tissue culture, so they're much easier for us as homeowners really to keep growing.
This is a great plant.
And a lot of new varieties. I like the one next to you there, the red and the pink
This is great.
series. Yeah, they just give you a lot more color, and especially for that darker corner in your house that doesn't get a lot of light, you're in pretty good shape.
And how about something like this?
I love that. Yeah, the limelight and the lemon lime Dracaena are nice. The higher color, they will do a little bit better in moderate light, but they can kind of get used to lower light if you can acclimate them down a little bit. But they do beautifully, and they just pop. So put this in a grouping with some other plants, and it draws your eye to that whole group.
So my rule of thumb, really, for low light plants, and we can talk about this snake plant, is what I consider low light is something where you can still read a book.
Yep, I'm with you there.
But not turn a light on, maybe. You know, just kind of like on that edge type of thing. And if you have to turn on a light, then I think you need maybe some supplemental light, or maybe you should try another window.
Right, yep.
This is like the old-fashioned, plant that just keeps on ticking type of thing.
This is our starter plant for anybody who says, I can't grow anything. It's like, if you can't grow this, then we'll go artificial. But everybody can grow this.
Yeah, this will take a little light or any kind of abuse.
Right.
So we should talk a little bit about watering.
Okay.
And in low light conditions, like a plant like this, for example, how do you tell people to judge? I usually go by weight, but
weight's a great way to go. The old finger, just sticking your finger in, down is a good way. If you have chopsticks or toothpicks, that can even help you out a little bit.
That's great.
But the main thing is these pots all have a lot of drainage in the bottom when you get them from the growers and from the greenhouse. And the first thing we do is we plop them in a pot that has a little side hole. So just be careful with that.
I think we probably have more problems with overwatering than underwatering, don't we?
Always, yeah. And a lot of that comes down to a combination of the potting media we use. We want to use something that's pretty lightweight. Most of these peat moss mixes are great, and they put a lot of perlite and good drainage in.
That's right.
And it's a good way to go. And just don't, if you need to repot this, keep it in a pot similar size, maybe one size up.
Okay, Carrey, so if we move on to our next kind of group of plants, or next tier of plants, we sort of get into more of a medium light, I think.
There's some great plants here, a lot of the different palms. Now the Rhapis Palm will go down lower light, or
that's this palm.
This palm here, yep. Yeah. And this is great. I mean, this is one of the, it's a slow grower, but it holds up a long time.
Right.
A lot of the Calatheas like this do well, and I like these because they kind of have a purple one side of the leaf and green on the other, and this is, I don't know if you felt that, it's kind of velvety.
Oh yeah.
So that's cool.
Then we have this kind of palm too. This is pretty common. This is a Parlor Palm, or...
Yep. And that you get a lot,
palm.
and you get a lot of those in your little dish gardens, and can pull them out of those and keep on growing them.
Keep them growing.
Yeah.
Then we've got some pretty common plants, although nowadays with the varieties, these Dieffenbachias have a lot of color to them.
Right, and they are well-named dumb cane. We had one of my coworkers was being funny one day and wanted to see if it really would paralyze his vocal cords, and it did. He was kind of scratching for about a week.
Let's not eat them, yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't eat them.
And then we've got the corn plant. This is a pretty common, but I think I see a lot of corn plants where they stick them in a corner and they don't give them quite enough light, and then they lose this variegation and they begin to stretch.
Right, and this is a nice plant. A lot of times people come in here looking for height, and this is one of the plants you can buy them in like a 4-3-2 setting, or go up to about, do a 6 foot or whatever.
Yeah, because these will get up quite high, and so will the palms eventually.
Right.
Yeah, this is great. So these are all like medium light plants.
Yep. And again, some of them you can tone them down, but they do great in those areas.
Yeah. Okay, so Carrey, another category that we put maybe in a little higher light to kind of keep their colors, and maybe you can go through some of the higher light things here.
Yep, this is cordyline kiwi. This is a nice plant, a lot of different coloration on it. A lot of people use that like spike in the middle of their plant. This is a relative of that.
Yep.
I love this. This is Croton. Crotons you can get in all sizes, from real little guys for terrariums up to big monsters, and they give you all this nice high color.
Even though this isn't quite technically a foliage plant, you might want to talk about these. These are great.
The calamodins, lemons, limes, the sour fruits do okay. They can be moved out in the summertime, but they'll overwinter inside in your house just fine. I think one year I had 88 limes on one of my lime trees.
Yeah, and these blossoms are tremendous. They're really fragrant.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Fill up a room. Now we've come to like some pretty common things These are the ficus. Or
Right,
the-
yeah, and this one, this is a little bit newer for us. This is a Littleleaf ficus or Ficus lyrata.
Yep.
And then the, whatever, been around forever, Ficus benjamina, but they
Yep.
keep working on varieties that don't drop as much as we were used to.
Yeah, so the key for these to keep them thick is to really give them as bright a window as we can, and maybe even move them outside in the summertime in the shade just to keep their foliage. Otherwise, they do start to lose. You know, they have leaf drop.
Yeah, and most of these are tropical, so they like a lot of humidity.
Yeah.
So if there's a way for you to run a humidifier in the house in the wintertime, or at least keep them away from direct heat sources, you're going to be in better shape.
Yes. Okay, so another popular category are these hanging baskets, and so this is sort of the classic Pothos type of thing. So maybe go over some of these type of versus
All right, yeah.
philodendron,
Right.
and spider plant here.
Philodendron do great. These do well in low light. This is going to be more of a moderate light kind of thing. Spider plants I've had everywhere. I've
Yeah.
had low light, high light in between.
And the cool thing is, yeah, you get all these little babies.
Yeah, kids love this
Yep.
stuff. I should say kids. I get this one guy that calls me every week about it. Up here, grape ivy. This is a lot of fun. And I think we were talking about this earlier. One of our favorites is this rabbit's foot fern.
Yeah, why don't you show the
Oh, I love this.
rhizomes on that?
Yeah, look at that. They just, and eventually this will try to cover up the whole pot.
Yep.
And they're very furry.
They're soft.
And this is a nice plant. As far as ferns go, I think this is one of the easiest ones to grow.
And that'll take a low light, yeah.
Absolutely.
So a lot of these are very, very adaptable. Well, I think that's sort of the end of our foliage. Thank you
All right,
very much
thank
for
you.
inviting us out here at Valley View. And I hope we've sort of educated and sort of told people what they need to know.